What if I told you the reason people lose respect for you is not what you do, but what you give away too easily? What if the things you think make you kind are actually making you weak in their eyes? And what if today you finally learned the line you should never let anyone cross? In life, not everything is meant to be shared. Some things are your power, your identity, your peace. The problem is, most people give these away without even realizing it. They say yes when they should say no, they explain themselves when they don't have to, they sacrifice their worth just to be liked. But strong people, they protect what matters. And today, you're going to learn exactly what you should never give people, even if they ask. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your life. Your time, energy, and presence are valuable, and when you give them away too freely, people begin to take them for granted. Constant availability doesn't make you important, it makes you predictable. And when people know you'll always be there no matter what, they stop respecting your time. Learn to step back. You don't have to answer every call or reply to every message instantly. Choosing when and where to invest your energy is not selfish. It's a form of self-respect and emotional discipline. The truth is, the right people will never demand constant access to you. They will respect your space and understand your priorities. Setting boundaries is not about pushing people away. It's about protecting your peace and focusing on what truly matters. When you stop overextending yourself, you regain control over your life and your direction. You become more intentional, more focused, and more valued. Because in the end, people appreciate what isn't always available, and they respect those who respect themselves enough to say no when it matters. The moment you start tolerating disrespect, you silently give others permission to treat you that way. What you allow becomes the standard. If you ignore insults, overlook manipulation, or accept being taken for granted, people begin to see it as acceptable behavior. Over time, it becomes a pattern, one that slowly erodes your confidence and self-worth. Respect isn't something people automatically give, it's something you reinforce through what you accept and what you refuse. Self-respect is not a compromise, it's a boundary. There will be moments when standing up for yourself costs you relationships, opportunities, or temporary comfort, but losing your dignity costs far more. Once you let that go, everything else begins to lose meaning. Protecting your self-worth may feel difficult in the moment, but it builds a stronger, more grounded version of you in the long run, one that doesn't settle for less than they deserve. You don't owe everyone an explanation for the choices you make. When you constantly feel the need to justify yourself, it often comes from seeking approval or avoiding judgment. But the truth is, not everyone is meant to understand your path. Over-explaining drains your energy and shifts your focus away from what truly matters. Clarity doesn't need constant validation. If your intentions are right and your direction is clear, that is enough. Strong individuals move with quiet confidence. They make decisions based on their values, not on the need to be accepted by everyone around them. Some people will question you, misunderstand you, or even disagree, and that's perfectly fine. Your life is not meant to fit everyone's expectations. When you stop trying to make everyone comfortable with your choices, you reclaim your power and create space to live authentically without unnecessary noise or doubt. Sharing your goals with the wrong people can quietly drain your motivation. Not everyone will support your vision. Some may laugh, others may doubt, and a few might even hope you fail. When you expose your plans too early, you invite unnecessary opinions that can shake your confidence. Your dreams are fragile in the beginning, and they need protection, not validation. That's why it's important to be selective about who gets access to your ambitions. Move in silence and let your actions do the talking. Not everything needs to be announced or explained. When you focus on consistent progress instead of constant approval, you build strength, discipline, and clarity. The less you speak about what you're going to do, the more energy you have to actually do it. And when the results finally show, they carry far more weight than words ever could. People will constantly try to pull you into unnecessary drama, arguments, and negativity, but not everything deserves your attention. When you react to every provocation, you give away your power and let others control your emotions. Your peace is valuable, and it shouldn't be disturbed by careless words or shallow behavior. Not every message needs a reply, and not every situation requires your involvement. Learning to pause and choose your response is a sign of real strength, not weakness. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Silence is not avoidance, it's control. Walking away doesn't mean you lost, it means you value your peace more than proving a point. When you stop engaging in things that drain you, you create space for clarity, focus, and growth. Protect your energy at all costs, because once it's gone, it's much harder to rebuild than it was to defend. Forgiveness is a strength, but giving endless chances can become a weakness. When someone repeats the same behavior again and again, it's no longer a mistake, it's a pattern, a conscious choice. And every time you overlook it, you silently agree to be treated that way. At some point, you have to recognize that your patience is being tested, not appreciated. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to keep them in your life or continue tolerating the same actions. Knowing when to stop is a form of self-respect. Walking away isn't about anger or revenge, it's about choosing your peace over repeated disappointment. You can wish someone well and still decide they no longer deserve access to you. Growth requires boundaries, and sometimes the strongest decision you can make is to let go of what refuses to change.
People will judge you, criticize you, and project their own doubts onto your path. That's a part of life you can't control. But the real danger begins when you start accepting those opinions as truth. The moment you let outside voices define your worth, you slowly disconnect from your own identity. Not every opinion deserves space in your mind. Most criticism reflects the limits of the person giving it, not your potential. True confidence comes from within, not from validation. When you stay grounded in who you are and what you stand for, outside noise loses its power. Believe in your direction, even when others don't understand it. The stronger your self-belief becomes, the less influence negativity has over you. Because in the end, the only voice that should truly guide your life is your own. If someone can easily trigger your anger, shake your confidence, or disturb your peace, they hold a level of control over you that you should never give away. Emotional reactions, when unmanaged, become weaknesses others can exploit. The more reactive you are, the more predictable you become, and predictability makes you easy to influence. True strength isn't about overpowering others, it's about mastering yourself, especially in moments when emotions run high. Real power lies in emotional control. Staying calm, aware, and composed allows you to respond with intention instead of reacting out of impulse. When you choose your reactions, you take back control of your life and your direction. No one can manipulate what they cannot trigger. Protect that control at all costs, because once you master your emotions, you become unshakable in a world that constantly tries to provoke you. Being kind does not mean allowing yourself to be used. Kindness is a strength, but without boundaries, it becomes self-neglect. Giving, helping, and supporting others is meaningful only when there is balance. If you are always the one showing up, sacrificing, and putting others first while receiving nothing in return, it stops being kindness and slowly turns into exploitation of your time and energy. Learning to say no is not selfish, it is necessary. Your energy is not unlimited, and how you choose to spend it determines your mental peace and personal growth. Protecting your boundaries allows you to give from a place of strength rather than exhaustion. When you choose your reactions, you take back control of your life and your direction. No one can manipulate what they cannot trigger. Protect that control at all costs, because once you master your emotions, you become unshakable in a world that constantly tries to provoke you. No matter how difficult life becomes, and no matter how many people doubt your journey, the most important thing is to never give up on yourself. People may walk away, situations may fall apart, and plans may not work out the way you expected, but none of that defines your final outcome. As long as you keep standing, keep trying, and keep believing in yourself, you still have the ability to change your direction. Giving up is the only point where everything truly ends. Until then, there is always room to rebuild, adjust, and rise again. Strength is not about never struggling, it's about continuing despite the struggle. So even when things feel heavy, hold on a little longer. Keep moving forward step by step, and trust that persistence will eventually turn your effort into progress. At the end of the day, ask yourself this: what have I been giving away that I should have protected? Respect is not taken from you, it is given away, one compromise at a time. If you found this valuable, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow for more content like this. And comment below, what is one thing you will stop giving away starting today?